What are the 10 college football teams with the most to prove in 2025? And at number 10, I have the Nebraska Cornhuskers. This is a team that has a good head coach in Matt Rule. He always has a great year three, and they recently went to a bowl game, their first bowl game in nearly a decade. They have a young five-star quarterback in Dylan Raiola, and they really had a great transfer portal class this offseason. They have a lot to prove next season. They could be really good. At number 9, I have Oklahoma. Brent Venables may have his job on the line very soon. The offensive line is still a question mark, and I don't know if they have a standout wide receiver, but they do have a great quarterback transfer in John Mateer. This team has a lot to prove next season if they want to stay relevant. At number 8, I have Wisconsin. This team took a step back last season, and they missed a bowl game. Luke Fickell has not been the head coach people were expecting him to be, but maybe he turns Wisconsin around in 2025 and shocks some people. But right now, I don't have great expectations for Wisconsin, and they have a ton to prove next season. If they have another mediocre season, Luke Fickell should be in the hot seat. At number 7, I have Utah. Kyle Whittingham is one of the best coaches in college football and one of the most winningest coaches in the sport. They always have a consistent defense, but last year was a major shock, and they only won 5 football games, and Cam Rising ended up getting injured again. But I think they can bounce back next year with a good quarterback in Devin Dampier and a good transfer portal running back in Parker. I have Michigan at number 6. They have a lot to prove heading into next season. They have a five-star true freshman quarterback. They don't have great options at wide receiver, though, and they lost some major NFL pieces on defense. I wouldn't be surprised if this team underperformed, and I definitely think they have a lot to prove with Sherrone Moore. This is going to be another season where USC has a ton to prove, especially on defense. Can they compete in the Big Ten and stay consistent? If there was a year for LSU to finally break out with Brian Kelly, it has to be this season. This team has so much to prove. This team has a great roster with the number one transfer portal class in the nation. They have a ton to prove, and they have a great quarterback in Garrett Nussmeier. Kalen DeBoer and Alabama have a ton to prove. They are coming off of their first season that wasn't double-digit wins since 2007. But it was a transitional year. They lost a ton of talent, and Nick Saban left. Next season, they have a ton to prove with Kalen DeBoer. Florida State has the world to prove because the previous season they won the ACC, then they went to having one of their worst seasons ever. And Florida State definitely has a lot to prove next season. And at number 1, I have the Auburn Tigers. There is no reason this team should not be a winning football team with the talent that they have next season. So I do think Auburn has the most to prove after back-to-back disappointing seasons.